Evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. We're having a party. We're rocking and rolling. We're ready for some live cruise video talking. Are you ready? I am ready too. So let's get into today's video. You guys think? Ready to rock out?
Okay.
Do a little headbanging.
Okay.
The mosh pit right here on the live. No mosh pit?
No mosh pit.
All right, let's get in and see what we got going on here today. We have Rick, Texas Cruiser, here in the house. Tilla the Bun, Linda, Andre, and this is the part where Tiffany normally jumps in, but
Boss Pupa's here. Howdy. All from Raleigh. On. Hello, everyone.
all right, we'll let everybody get in here. We have all kinds of stuff to talk about today. We've had an interesting week in the cruise news. We've got some interesting cruise and travel stories. It's just been what I would call the week of weirdness.
It's a good week.
It's true. I mean, at least it's an interesting week.
Yes.
But it has been a week of weirdness. It's not just in cruising. I like to point out that, the weirdos don't only come out for the cruise ships.
No.
They come out across the board. And we're going to be covering some of that stuff tonight. And I came up with this crazy plan today. I'm going to share my crazy plan. I'm going to get y'all's thoughts on my crazy plan of how I think I'm going to beat Carnival Cruise Line's drink packages.
So you're going to tell everybody and get Carnival on board with it so that they block it.
Because it's not illegal. Okay? I'm not going to teach you how to sneak alcohol inside a 12-pack.
No, that'd be crazy.
No, I already posted that video for everybody else.
Tara's here. She says hello. Just Cody. Hey, Chris and Tiffany.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Attila, pretty cool picture of the Breeze sitting in Royal Caribbean Terminal in Galveston due to storm damage at the other one.
Yeah, I wonder how Carnival felt about that. They were like, damn, we got to go down the street and ask the competition for a little bit of help. And what I find the funniest about it is if you've ever cruised out of Galveston, if you've cruised out of the terminal where Carnival cruises out of, Norwegian cruises out of there, Disney cruises out of there, they're not bad terminals. They're okay. But if you go cruise out of Royal Caribbean's terminal, new terminal, it's a whole different animal. You can tell it's new, it's modern. In my opinion, it flows. I mean, they built it to flow on and off. It's got its own path. The two don't even intersect. You don't have to go down all the crazy ramps that you have to do in Galveston. I'm just wondering if folks were getting on and off the Breeze in the Royal Caribbean terminal going, damn, what the hell is going on down here? What do you think?
Possibly.
Because you got those loyal Carnival cruisers. They're loyal to brand. They're not going to go down the street and do Royal Caribbean because they're loyal. But then they see how the other side of that street living down there. So I can only imagine what the fourth terminal is going to look like that's being built for MSC. MSC, for whether you like them or not, they like their bling bling. Their stairs are made of crystals.
Yeah.
So
just Cody says, hope y'all are having a great week. Attila says, it was nice of them to let Breeze use it, but also they get to say, look how nice this is.
Exactly. I was super impressed with how nice that port is there for the Royal Caribbean built down there. And it's a good spot. I like cruising out of that port. I mean, in and out is always just bam, bam, bam over there. All right, James has joined us. Of course, James, you know what we're going to want from you, sir. We are going to need the James weekly medical update just to confirm that everything is going really well over there. But yeah, Rick actually put some pictures over on Facebook of the Carnival Breeze over there.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I thought it was funny. But it does show that cruise lines can work together, cooperate together, and help each other out when they need to.
Yes.
So, and you never know. something could happen to Royal Caribbean's port, and they may have to go down the street and be like, hey. So a little goodwill up front never hurts anybody.
Exactly.
You know, and plus, long before Royal Caribbean built that terminal, they were sharing down the street anyway. So there's already a sharing relationship if they've had to use a terminal for each other before. But had a little fun this week. Stirred up some controversy in some of the videos I put out this week. Did a video about mobility scooters because, of course, there's people out there saying that people are faking onboard cruise ships to use mobility scooters. They hate them. They want them gone. Then you've got the mobility scooter people saying people are rude to us. We should have our own elevators, all this other kind of stuff. So I had to jump in the middle, stir that pot, which is always fun to do because it's amazing the number of trolls that come creeping out of the rocks when you put a good controversy video out. Oh, yeah, they get to fighting in the comments. Fighting in the comments, which makes it fun. Sorry, I enjoy getting the trolls worked up every once in a while. We talked about vaping on cruise ships this week. We've had to have some vaping clarification, and we shared some awesomely dumb cruise hacks. Because if you're going to make a cruise hack that you're like, if I do this, I can sneak this on the ship, don't post it on social media. Don't. Because cruise lines watch social media. We know that for a fact. Because long ago, it hasn't been that long ago, but we did a video, and I'm sure some of you guys watched it, talking about the issue we had with Princess Cruise Lines when they moved our cabin. Worked out beautifully at the end, but it created enough buzz. People watched that video. It's actually one of our most viewed videos ever. That the hotel director for Princess Cruise Lines reached out to say, hey, what's going on, guys? And that wasn't even something negative. Because even in the video I said it turned out good. And we still got were reached out to by the hotel director of Princess Cruise Lines over that incident. So I know firsthand cruise lines do pay attention.
Yes.
And it gets back to the right people.
California Land is talking to just Cody. They had a cold front come in, double digits, a relief from 2 weeks of over 105. 85 seems to be a bit on the cool side.
We have cold front too. We're down at 97.
Yes. James says, thank you for asking. Doing better, getting movement in the right shoulder and arm, and physical therapy is doing good.
All right, see the dogs at it
already. We are enjoying the cooler weather. I hope you're doing amazing, and the weather here actually cooled down like 10 degrees today, which was nice.
Was nice. But all right, let's jump in and talk about all things we're going to talk about this week. Hey, I don't understand this dog. He's calm and quiet until we hit go live. And it's like he just knows, well, now's the time to be a total butt.
Nellie's here. Hope everyone's is great. And you're not late.
Yeah, you're not late. We're still just getting started and chit-chatting here and getting everything going. But I do want to jump into some of the weird travel and cruise stories that we have seen this week. Starting off with, how about this? How about this? I am so distracted by this dog fighting underneath my foot. How about this? Okay.
Did he settle? Hello, everyone. Hope you missed me. I was being a good wife and taking care of hubby. Is hubby okay?
Yeah, hopefully hubby's okay.
He wants the attention because he knows he's the king of the house.
He's gotten attention all day long. Let's not act like this dog gets ignored all the rest of the time. I don't know what it is. Maybe the microphone buzzes at just the perfect frequency that only he hears or something. But
Rick says Michael Bailey finally announced a Discovery class of ships coming to Royal Caribbean, a nice mid-range of ships.
Yep, that was actually on our list, so we'll go ahead and jump into that. He did confirm that they are building the Discovery class. It is going to be a smaller class, but there's no other information out there that I've seen yet. So What size the Discovery class is going to be, I don't know. He just really kind of hinted at the idea that with the way cruise ports are going and not wanting the bigger ships in there, Royal Caribbean is looking at honestly building a proper class of ship that may be more suitable going into the future. And, you know, while I'm sure Utopia of the Seas is an awesome ship, a smaller class ship, people want it. People are asking for it. Cruise ports are asking for it. And I think Royal Caribbean, if they actually start putting out information on the Discovery class, they start laying the keel on one, that's really where I'm going to fully get on board with believing that. Could also prompt other cruise lines to build smaller ships. Because Carnival's still saying, well, you know, it's just financially we're building bigger ships because it makes more sense for revenue and this and that. Well, if Royal Caribbean can do it, so can Carnival. I think they just need to get motivated out there to do it. You're so weird.
Did he mention anything about Galveston?
Yes. It's still nothing firm other than he wants to. Texas is one, Galveston is one of the ports that he is focused on and growing in. So he hinted that we could be looking at possibly an icon class ship out of Galveston in the future.
Shika says, I'm happy RCCL is building small again.
Like I said, I hope it's true. It did come from his mouth, but I'm waiting for them to actually lay the keel. That's what I really want to see before I'm going to be 100% behind believing everything. Because he said a lot of stuff. Possible icon coming to Galveston. He talked about the Discovery class of ship. He is talking about revisiting curfews on board the ship for kids. There's been a lot of complaints. You know, you hear it about Carnival all the time. Kids running up and down the hall, banging, fighting, being where they're not supposed to be, creating a ruckus. And apparently Royal's getting a lot of those same types of complaints about parents not watching and monitoring and taking care of their children. Because I'm sorry, like it, don't like it, agree, disagree. That's where the problem starts, right then and there. Is parents ain't doing their damn job and they're creating problems for other guests. Period. Because I'm old enough to know and old enough to remember that had I gone on a ship and shown my ass like that, you'd have had to watch me stand up and eat dinner. That hurt to sit down.
Nellie says they need smaller new ships. Can't keep Grander out there.
Yeah, poor Grander. I like Grander though. I hope it's true, and I hope it actually happens, and I hope we see one of these ships. I also hope we get an icon class in Galveston so we can try it one time.
Ray's here.
Welcome, Ray.
Just Cody says Nico is so freaking cute. Seriously, the cutest dog I've ever seen.
Miko.
With an M.
Meeko.
But that's okay because he gets called a lot of things.
Yeah, he gets called a lot of names.
Princess Buttercup.
He's Princess Buttercup on some days. But he is named after the raccoon from the Pocahontas cartoon movie on Disney. Wonder why.
James says, I love the mid-size ships like NCLJ.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. That size of ship is hugely popular. I think Royal Caribbean would be, I think if they're the first and they build them, I think it's going to be a huge and utter success. And then I think we'll see the other cruise lines follow along.
Nellie says, yes, I was about to say that about the topic of curfew. Some of those parents don't care what the kids do. I think they have the mentality, where are they going to go?
Well, they have the mentality of it also, it's not my problem. Someone else can deal with it. Or what do they call that now? Gentle parenting, where you just let them do whatever they want, I guess. So So yeah, they may be looking at the new curfew options for Royal Caribbean, specifically in some of the bars, clubs, and different locations around the ship. I mean, Royal Caribbean's already made some changes. You know, they took the age for solarium from 16 up to 18. They increased that. But at the end of the day, same problem you see on Carnival right now. You can have all the rules on the cruise ship you want. You
They
can
just need to enforce
but
them.
if you don't enforce them consistently across the fleet, you're going to continue to have problems. They have to say, you can't do this. This is the consequence. And then there has to be a consequence each and every time. It has to, the word needs to spread that we're going to get in trouble if we do this instead of, chances are they'll just ignore it, which is what people think in here now. And that's why you see so many problems going on. And cruise lines, they were like, well, you know, we're not trying to be upsetting all the guests and this and that. Well, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because you're upsetting the rest of the guests by not enforcing the rules. And by not enforcing the rules, you're letting the rule breakers know that
it's okay.
It's okay. Why stop? You know? So, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, so that's a couple things that Michael Bailey put out this week. He usually puts out some pretty good information. He kind of drops hints here and there until the information actually comes out. But that's some of the Royal Caribbean news this week. Now I'm going to shift gears here a little bit. We're talking about some non-related cruise news, but it's travel cruise news. Because there was a guy this past week flew into China who's doing a little bit of smuggling, sneaking something into the country he shouldn't have. Okay. Now, drugs? No. It was snakes. Snakes. He had snakes, like 60 some odd snakes, right? In his pants. How do you sneak 60 snakes in your pants?
I don't want to.
How do you think your pants aren't going to wiggle? It's not like snakes are just like lay still. They move. They shift. I guess they had them in like baggies and stuff like that, but they're still going to move. But yeah, got caught with 60 snakes. But that's not the best one. That's not even the best one.
Cody snakes? What the crap?
Oh, yeah. In his pants.
No.
In his pants. Well, but it gets even better. Yeah, in the pants. 60 snakes going through airport security in his pants. That's not going to get caught.
Now he says in his pants. No.
Oh, yeah. But that's not even the best one. So just a couple of days ago in Detroit, a individual who had flown in from South Africa, well, he got stopped. And he got stopped by customs for a secondary inspection because, well, his suitcase, it smelled funny. He had a funny smelling suitcase. And that's because he had a suitcase full of giant African snails. And these things are they're good size. Here, I got a picture. That is a giant African snail sitting on somebody's hand. He had an entire suitcase full of these things, and they started to stink. And apparently, this is a very invasive species. It'll eat the stucco off the side of your house in order to get calcium. So we think that cruisers are weird and cruisers do crazy things. Well, you know what? At least they're not trying to sneak on a pants full of snakes and a suitcase full of snails. Yeah. You know, and it doesn't end with airlines. Oh, no, because we got more. How about this one here? Now, this is from Disney World. This is over by Big Thunder Mountain in the Magic Kingdom. This water that this gentleman is swimming in right here is the, the River Americas in between Big Thunder Mountain and Tom Sawyer's Island, right in the middle of the park, full of snakes, full of alligators. And a park guest says, hey, let's just go for a swim. I'm randomly going to swim right here. How about that?
James says it's amazing what people try to smuggle.
It is. These people are just absolutely nuts.
Chica said people are dumb.
But yeah, they think he might have been wanting to eat the snails. I guess he wanted giant escargot.
Cody, the snails may be worse. What the hell?
Hey, these are the kind of people we are out there traveling with in this world. Okay, but you know, and yeah, that's airplanes, and yeah, that's Disney World. But you know, I don't want to leave cruisers out. Okay, I don't want to leave cruisers out because why leave cruisers out when you can have this wonderful? Why does she have a pool, or he or her? They have a swimming pool on their balcony. Enlighten me to how this makes sense.
I guarantee the swimmer had someone record him for a TikTok.
Oh, he got recorded on TikTok, all right. And then he got reported to park employees, and then he got drugged out of there. I'm pretty sure they yanked him out, and he's probably banned for life. Didn't say that in the story, but yeah. And so I just don't want to leave cruisers out because
maybe they were making their own waterbed.
Well, how'd they fill it? One cup at a time from the sink? Okay.
Texas Cruiser, good Lord.
I don't get it.
Just go to your pool on the balcony. Wow, some people are dumb.
Exactly. And there's other ones I don't even have pictures of. There's one of a girl on her mattress. And we've seen ones like that. She drug the mattress out. People are crazy.
Ellie says, I imagine the pool is for kids to play in, because how else can you fill that thing?
Yeah, I guess you could just put it out there and throw your kids in it. But yeah, I mean, how would you put water in it? It's not like you can get a hose out there. You know, one cup at a time from the sink in those little bitty cups they have in the cabin.
James says, I still like the people on TikTok showing how to smuggle alcohol on ships with Coke cans and wine bottles.
Yeah.
Oh, it's more than Coke cans and wine bottles.
But we did the video on those specifically. But yeah, I mean, then they do things like that, and then they make videos of it, and then there's a video of security opening up your 12-pack of soda.
Texas Cruiser, what's wrong with just getting on a ship and do cruising things? Why bring your junk along?
Okay, well, why the portable washing machines? We've got some upcoming stories for like Saturday about knives. It's all kinds of stuff. I have no idea where some of the people come up with some of the things. And I'm sure you've seen pictures in the past where they tape ceiling fans to the ceiling above the bed, or they try to use those little magnets and hang fans above their beds. And then the cabin stewards have to go in and take them down because it's a safety hazard.
Yeah,
because you know when it falls on your face. Well, when it falls on your face, you're gonna sue.
Well, the sprinklers are right there.
That's true too. But yeah, it's all kinds of crazy, and it just makes me laugh. But yeah, that's what the last few days of cruising has been all about. Is just the amount of weird that has popped up here in the last couple of days with travel and cruising and everything else.
Ellie says, I saw where Carnival security is cutting the 12-pack of sodas to see if people smuggle alcohol.
Yeah, and they're prepared for it because they got a roll of tape. So when they open it, they tape them back up. They had planned to open those before it ever happened. They were prepared to seal them back up. So where did security get that idea? How were they so prepared for that possibility, right? And so now the wine bottle one's out. Kind of pull the cork out of your wine bottle, swap it out with the alcohol, and put the cork back in. Posted a video on it. You know what the consequences for that? You can't bring wine bottles on board the ship anymore.
Now, they haven't put that in effect yet, have they?
No, they haven't even hinted at it. But that is one of the very possible outcomes to these situations.
I just don't want you starting any rumors being an influencer and all.
I'm going to ignore that one.
Gone are the days when you sneak something and don't tell anyone.
Right? If you're getting away with something, shut up. Good God Almighty. Look, I get stuff on cruise ships is expensive. I get alcohol is expensive. But damn, if you tell 3 million people about it, someone's going to tell the cruise line. You know, someone in that group is going to be like, what'd you say? You know, and they happen to work for the cruise line. Yeah, this is the day and age where corporations have entire departments dedicated to social media. You can't just put something out there and hope that they'll never see it. Yes, they will. Mm-hmm. So if you're getting away with something, good job, because you ain't getting away with it anymore. But now we have other stuff that has been coming up this week. So I'm sure you guys have heard this particular story. Carnival Cruise Lines and their new ships and on their refits have begun installing night lights in their cabins. Motion sensitive lights that come on when you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night because they have had issues with trips and falls in the dark cabins because not everybody brings her on their own. Excuse me.
We've had a couple cabins where they've had the night lights.
Not on Carnival, but yes. And we usually bring our own that's motion sensitive. So Carnival's installing these and as ships are going into dry dock, they're being retrofitted on older ships. Well, you know how something goes when something's new on a cruise ship. While it's there for safety, instead it's pissed everybody off, apparently. It is making people mad. Now, I don't know if everybody has seen these new Carnival night lights, but a hotel director on one of the Carnival cruise ships, he recorded a video of it. And so I'm going to...
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys the video here. And here is the nightlight coming on. It's right there underneath the closet area right there in front of the bathroom. And so people are basically saying this is stupid, this is retarded, and this is creating a giant searchlight within your room to keep keeps everybody awake. And don't get me wrong, that is a little bright, but I can also tell from this particular part of the video right there, it's daylight outside too. You can see when he got to the right side of the bed that he has the curtains closed. But yeah.
Was it Princess?
They had the nightlight?
It was on the nightstand. So when you set your feet down,
yeah,
it was on the nightstand, and that way it lit the way. You didn't have to get all the way to the closet.
No, that wasn't a Princess. That was a Norwegian.
Norwegian. Okay.
Yeah.
So Norwegian has them, and they're on their nightstands.
That's right.
Because I would get up, and it would wake you up.
Yeah, and we finally figured out to put something in front of it so it wouldn't be so bright, which is the solution that a lot of people have said on Carnival. Stick a towel down there, and it obviously won't do that. But yeah, so now that's creating all kinds of arguments there because Carnival has put in something for safety that people don't like.
I liked the light, but it is bright. But you know, especially in those inside cabins, it's pitch black in there without a light.
Yeah, and it's true. And when it's really dark like that, though, a little bit of light goes a long way.
Yeah.
I can see where if they dimmed it a little bit, that might be a good idea. But
Nellie says, I saw a video and they are bright. James says, I guess for some they might need it, but I usually just pass out when I get to the cabin like it's dark. Dilly says, Princess also has them on the nightstands. Dilly said, didn't bother us at all.
Yeah. And so it really, as long as the motion detection doesn't set off, which it didn't look like it did from the bed. Because we have our little one that we take sometimes, and if I have to make sure I put it far enough down by the bathroom, because if I get it too close to the bed and you move your feet at night, it'll turn on.
Boss Pupa says, you mean you would still get dinner? I don't know.
I'm lost in where that comment falls in at.
Lenny's here. Hello from Geneva and Lenny.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. We're just having conversation about all of the unique and interesting things going on in cruising, talking about some of the controversies going on, and talking about nightlights. So that's been some of the interesting things I think this week that has come out cruise news wise. Find it fascinating that some of the stuff that people are happy with, and it's amazing. It's no matter what the cruise ships honestly do, someone's unhappy about something.
Gene says, wouldn't matter what they did. Some people just look for stuff to complain about.
That is true. Now, my favorite Carnival complaint for the entire week, though, has to be the one from the Carnival legend. Sailing up in Iceland, dense fog. Okay. If you've ever been on a cruise ship when there is dense fog, they use the foghorn, especially if there's other ships around or anything like that. The foghorn's going to get off. Apparently, multiple people wrote into John Heald demanding that he get in touch with the captain and to turn off the foghorn because it was bothering them. Can you imagine how much entitlement, how much audacity, and how much of, boy, you're kind of dumb, does it really take to think that you can demand the captain turn off the foghorn in a safety situation because it's bothering you? I mean, seriously. That one has to be my favorite one of the week just because, wow.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Wow.
Texas Cruiser says, I don't prefer total darkness, but my wife wants it very dark, so I bring a small flashlight. I don't like dark.
Yeah, Tiffany's not a fan of the dark either. So.
Of course, I'm the one that has to go to sleep with the TV and the light on. And
yes, I know. All these years, believe me, yes, I know.
I love the foghorn. It's what?
The neatest sound, and it keeps us safe.
Been in fog multiple times crossing the Gulf.
Yeah, well, we were on, I can't remember the ship we were on, but it was super, super foggy, and it delayed us a little bit, and yeah, the foghorn would go off. I forget what the interval is that the foghorn even goes off. It was, but never once did it cross my mind to go, damn, I need to demand to the captain he turn that off. It's bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. That is utterly insane that they would even say something like that. But here we are, and they did. What do you think about that?
I was just wondering if Disney's foghorn is a Disney's tune or if it's a regular.
It's a regular. It's a safety horn. Yeah, I can just see it now. You're out in the fog. It's super thick. You hear a foghorn. Then what? You hear the Imperial March. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, at least you know it's Disney and they're coming.
Oh, apparently there's a Disney one over there. Only you would hope Disney's foghorn with music.
California Linda shares another use for Post-it notes. Just cover the light. We always bring 2 motion sensors, one for the edge of the bed and the other for the bathroom. No waking your spouse.
Yeah, exactly. We have the motion sensor. And of course, after all these years, I'm used to her if she's going to do something anyway.
Yeah.
Or if I'm going to do something, because sometimes it's me.
But yeah, we have our magnetic motion light that we stick to the roof right before we get to the bathroom door.
It would be very annoying to hit another ship. Yeah, I know. It'd be so terrible, you know. Well, I demanded the captain turn the foghorn off. He did. And now I'm pissed off that I'm here in this lifeboat. So I'm suing. That's how that whole scenario would go.
Yeah.
And I want my money back because I got my shoes wet. You know, that's exactly how those particular types of situations would go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all the good funny stuff I have this week. That would make it all about laughing.
Yeah.
All about laughing this week. And now I did spend quite a bit of time because we are 100 days away. It did tell me when I logged in today from our upcoming cruise. So today I was going through looking at shore excursions to see which ones we're going to do. I think I found a couple of good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a couple good ones. And then we got into a discussion about drink packages on board Carnival Cruise Lines. So I got this crazy idea. One of the things, I guess, for me, and this is just a personal me, that I dislike the most about Carnival Cruise Lines is I get up super early, and if you have a drink package, a soda package on board Carnival Cruise Lines, and you're not on one of the new cruise ships, you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. There is no place open that you can get a drink. You can't. If you did not get it the night before and put it in your refrigerator, there's nothing to drink at that time in the morning. Half the time you can't even get in the buffet, or they are not turned on yet because they're still setting up. And I don't drink coffee.
You're missing out.
Oh, you may say I'm missing out. And so that is probably my one biggest thing I don't like about Carnival. If I have to pick a negative, is I can't get a drink anytime I want to get a drink like I can on Princess. It's got 24-hour international cafe. I can always get a drink. It's one of the things I love versus one of the things I like the least about Carnival. So we were looking at the upcoming, and Tiffany won't get the package. She doesn't. She gets the water sent to the room, so we're going to get her a 12-pack of water. And I priced it out. It was, for me, just to get the bubbles package for the 9-night sailing was $100 and some change. Exactly. For the bubbles package, which is great. It's not super expensive. It's not like it's not affordable, but we're in port 5 days in a row. We only have 3 sea days out of the total 9. And like I said, if I get up 4 o'clock in the morning, do my ship tours and stuff like that, there is no place I can physically go to on board and get a drink. So I did the math, and I actually did it in the Carnival cart to make sure that it would come out right. But I figured I could put Tiffany's 12-pack of water, and I could order 36 cans of soda up front and have in the cabin. Oops, dog barking situation here. But I could order 36 cans of soda and Tiffany's 12-pack of water, have it in the cabin for $1 cheaper than getting the soda package. And then I would have something to drink at 4 o'clock in the morning every day we were on board the ship. Sounds like it works to me. But I'm curious to know what anybody else thought of that. Or has anybody else done that or tried that, and has it worked out better? All right, so the Jubilee has sensor lighting underneath the closet doors, perfect for bathroom visits in the middle of the night. Yeah, the Jubilee should already have it. Like I said, they're going to be retrofitting it onto the older cruise ships as they go into dry dock. 80 Days to Harmony. Oh, I still want to go on Harmony, though. I really, really do. I'm hoping the opportunity comes up and I can get on Harmony. I like the Oasis class ships. I like the Allure. I'm pretty sure I'm going to like the Harmony. Now he's got 47 days to the 5 days on the Mariner. Awesome, awesome. Nice little ship, older ship. Should be an awesome cruise. Rick's got all kinds of cruises lined up, and he's also going to do the Mariner. The Mariner is another one I want to jump on. Royal Caribbean likes to rotate their ships out every once in a while, so I want to try to get on as many of them as possible while they're in Galveston, because it's so easy and it is so convenient. And I have no idea what happened to Tiffany. She's just gone right in the middle of the show. But yeah, so that is I think what I'm going to try is, I guess we'll call it, it's not even a real drink hack, but I think if I order all the drinks ahead of time, simply have them in the room, I'm going to order all this and we'll get the one room without a refrigerator. That would just be my luck. Because, of course, the Miracle is an older cruise ship, and we picked a guaranteed cabin. So I don't know where we're going to end up. I don't know what kind of cabin we're going to end up in. I even warned Tiffany, so there is an offhand chance that we could get an upper lower, which is bunk beds. in the room. And sometimes those rooms don't have refrigerators in them, but room service will always bring you a bucket of ice. Let's see. I always bring 2 bottles of wine and keep in the room. Drink package is not worth it for us anymore. I would be 100% happy and say that it was worth it for me if it was available when I was thirsty. That is my only caveat to that. As Carnival continues to add drink stations on board the ship, where self-service drink stations, which they're starting to put on the newer XL class ships and should be retrofitting to the older ships as they go into dry dock, it becomes more worth it to me than if I can get it when I'm thirsty. That's the one big drawback for me, is it's not available when I'm thirsty. And I don't want to have to go to a bar every single time and stand in line at a bar just to get a drink. So, James said they have bigger cruises out of Galveston to the Eastern Caribbean. Yes, that is one of the ones that's the one we're going on, or one of them that we are going on in, I don't know, it's the Eastern Caribbean, it's the Bahamas from Galveston. But our 9-night is Carnival Miracle out of Galveston going all the way over to Nassau, Freeport, Key West, Bimini, and Princess Key. But they've got either other ones. There's several Journey ones that are going to be going out of Galveston. The Carnival Legend is going to have several as well when she does arrive in Galveston. Rick said we don't the drink package anymore because you get the 5 free drinks. And so, yeah, that makes sense. And I'm at this point, I'm just talking purely the bubbles package, just to get, a Sprite, a Mountain Dew, whatever that cruise line has that they're serving. Because I don't drink a lot of alcohol and I don't drink coffee and things like that. So I need something with caffeine in it while I am cruising, and I can only bring 12 of my drinks on board the ship on embarkation day. And I mean, I know I could bring 12 and Tiffany could bring 12, but then it's heavy if we get on real early. So, but I can also pick them up in cruise ports. I personally think just having them all in the cabin and it'd be $1 cheaper than even getting the drink package. I don't know. I think that's probably going to be the way we're going to go and give that a try. Oh, you're not late to the party. We are just getting started. NCL Viva and Prima have some really neat 14-day sailings out of Galveston to the Eastern Caribbean. I would be, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I do want to look at some of the ones for the Viva, because I'm really going to be curious about the Viva. They said they took some of the issues that people had with the Prima, and they've corrected some of that on the Viva. So I'd really like to see how much of the people's advice they really took. How much did they make the spaces bigger? Did they allow more room inside the venues for entertainment? Is there more space on the open decks up top? And that's going to be one of my questions for the Viva. But yeah, no, there's a lot of good ones going over into the Eastern Caribbean. But people in Galveston they've been asking for it and demanding it. And, the cruise lines came out and said, those are going to have to be longer journeys. And people said, okay, make them longer journeys. Sign us up. We're ready to go. Cruise lines are putting them out. People are booking them. And that's good news, because that means if people book them, they're successful. Cruise lines will continue to do them and continue to offer them. So, yeah, I just really want to see what and how different it's going to be from what the Prima was. So that's kind of the big thing right there. And let me see what is going on with. There she comes. I'm starting to wonder that Tiffany had just run off with us.
No.
Well, where'd you go?
Cody's here.
Does Cody want to come talk on the TV?
No. Cody's eating.
Cody's eating?
Yes.
Cody doesn't want to come in? No. Did you ask her?
No.
You didn't ask her?
No.
Okay. Well, I tried to sneak one of the kids in the video. So apparently not. But yeah, so I do want to see what how the Viva looks and everything. There's a bunch of them coming out of Galveston. Unfortunately, right now there's more cruises than I have time and ability to take at the moment. Otherwise, I'd probably be gone pretty consistently, at least once a month right now, I would think.
Yeah.
So I could swear there was more I was going to talk about, and now I can't remember what it was.
Cody threw you off.
Yes. Dogs start barking, kids start showing up.
Hey, that's okay.
I'm going to put a sign on the door that says recording. Don't knock. Turn around. Go on.
No.
Yes. So I'm going to drink. You talk some.
What do you want me to talk about?
I don't know. Tell stories.
Jewel is coming to Galveston.
Yes. Jewel Aziz.
Yes.
No, that's the Norwegian jewel, right? Which one am I thinking? There's a.
Well, while you're thinking, California Linda shares, we always bring 2 12-packs of soda for us. I find Diet Pepsi and Diet Dr. Pepper rarely available. The extra space in my carry-on becomes allocated for souvenirs.
Tiffany just automatically allocates everything for souvenirs if she gets an opportunity. She's not so bad on cruises. Not on Disney cruises.
I'm not that bad on Disney either. My popcorn bucket.
We are driving to Florida in the truck, so there's enough room for her to bring back souvenirs. Tell me that's not a problem.
We're driving because we don't like flying.
That's not true. Okay, that is true. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like flying.
I'm looking Viva sailing out of Galveston just to compare it to the Prima.
Yes, the same thing. You know, after doing the Prima with you, James, I'm curious to know. Norwegian says they listen. They said they tweaked. They said they adjusted. I'd be curious to see if it's true. Utterly curious just to see, you know, did they really take it to heart? Did they get rid of some of the stuff that people were like, you know?
Tella says, I bring wine with me and buy the cruise the vineyards on Carnival, which gives us 3 more wine bottles on board to drink in cabin or MDR. We're not wine drinkers.
No, we're just not wine drinkers.
I have not found a wine that doesn't make my stomach hurt.
I never cared for the taste of it.
I tried all kinds.
I've tried a few too, and it's just, we're not really any kind of drinker. So
No, I never went on Prima, but want to Viva. I won't be in Galveston until December. Gonna try the Harbor House. I'll start saving now. Here it's kind of pricey.
In December it usually is. The Harbor House is really weird. It's weird on how often it's available, and it's weird on its pricing. We've gotten the Harbor House for 1 year in January. We managed to pick it up for $129, which is why we picked it. I considered it's available for our October the 25th cruise, and I considered getting it. But I think we're going to go a different route for this upcoming cruise. I got an idea.
Attila says it's a practice to drink wine. You have to work on it. No, I don't like my stomach hurting, so
I'm not that energetic for practice. I'm not. Because I'm even on the couple of days where I have a drink or two, I'm wanting to go to bed earlier than normal. I'd rather be up, hanging around on the cruise ship, doing all kinds of cruise things.
Cindy's here. She says, hello. I was browsing YouTube and saw you're live.
Well, welcome to the show. Join us. We are a group of entertainment, I guess you could call us. We make jokes. We tell stories. We do share cruise information and stuff like that.
Attila says, I was raised on Mad Dog 2020 and Thunderbird. As a young man, I've refined my taste buds greatly.
So you know what it is to wake up next to the dumpster behind a 7-Eleven, confused.
Mad Dog and Boone's Farm.
Boone's Farm. Boy, good going down when you're a dumb kid. But man, you're pretty sure your life is over the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I remember those days. You know, they still see that stuff in the stores.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's lost its popularity from when we were, that it had when we were kids.
Yeah. I was at the liquor store today and saw the Mad Dog and just cracked up laughing.
Well, and I think that is a huge difference, and I think that's one of those generational things. When they always say, kids today aren't like when we were kids. Well, that's true. That really is true. We had no cell phones. We were pagers, and at best we were pagers, and you're drinking Mad Dog 2020 in Boone's Farm, some strange location in the city. I'm honestly surprised some of us got home alive on a regular basis.
Texas Cruiser says, I drank Boone's Farm apple wine in my teens. Now that's bad wine. Mine was the Strawberry Hill. Yeah, mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, good old Strawberry Hill. You wake up the next morning, you're pretty sure there's an axe stuck in your head somewhere, because there's nothing that's coming from that but a killer hangover.
Nellie says, "Old Mad Dog fruit punch. I thought I was the man."
Oh, I remember those days. And honestly, that to me is some of the biggest differences between people today and people. And I'm not saying people today are wrong for what they do. Mm-hmm. Like every generation, they're finding their own path. I think it's crooked and it's going like this, but whatever.
Hey, they said the same about us.
I'm sure our parents and our grandparents were like, "Damn, what is wrong with these kids?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Drinking that Strawberry Hill around a bonfire in somebody's pasture or cemetery.
Wake up the next morning, the cow's looking at you like, "What are you?" Mm-hmm. Give me nostalgia for being a kid. And then at the same time, you're going, "Dang, I'm still alive." That's impressive. Because you couldn't call anybody. There was no picking up the cell phone and calling anybody. Mm-hmm. You couldn't Google anything like that. Your friends, you think he's pretty much dead in the field from his Boone's Farm, and you're like, you can't Google what his symptoms are. You just like kick him a couple times and go, "Well, shit." Excuse me. Should we run?
Gene says, "Mad Dog 2020 bad memories."
Oh, yes, they absolutely are, but they are fun times from our youth.
Fond bad memories,
absolutely.
Wake up and wondering how you got home. Good thing I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, oh yeah, me neither. Me neither.
Indeed, Gene.
But we see, and this is what happens every show. We get way off topic. We are no longer on cruise. I'm going to write John Heels, and I'm going to request that they bring Mad Dog, strawberry wine, and Boone's Farm on board the cruise ships. I think it should be a drink at the Diamond Party. If you were Diamond, you get a shot. You just get the whole bottle of Boone's Farm.
And we drink it then.
You won't need 15 drinks a day. That bottle of Boone's Farm take your ass out. Like, how many do you have? One. Anyway, back to the cruising news. So I'm hoping I'm going to try to get Tiffany to parasail on her next cruise. What do you think?
I think it might happen.
Ready to parasail?
Yes. Nellie says, we talk cruise for about 20 minutes. The rest of the time, all bets are off.
Exactly. That's about how it goes. Because I have about 20 minutes worth of cruise information, and then after that, it's a free-for-all.
Cindy says, I can't wait to hear John's response to Boone Farms one. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to have to send it in under Tiffany's name. Because if I do it on Facebook, it comes up as High Seas Cruising. I don't really think that's a good look. John will be like, "Oh, who is this fool?" And then I'll get a response from Bob. Well, if you follow John's page, Bob sometimes responds to your comments. Bob tells you where you can stick it. John's alter ego.
Mm-hmm.
Because like that, the man gets so much hate on a consistent basis from people that makes no sense why they hate on this man.
James says, have you seen the prices on the Utopia?
No, I'm scared to look. I'm pretty sure I might have to, sell Tiffany to get on that ship. Which says a lot for you, baby.
I don't think you're going to get much.
See, that says a lot for you. I think you're worth the price on a Utopia cruise. That's quite a bit right now.
I doubt it.
No, I haven't honestly looked, mostly because I can't get over there to get on the Utopia. But my fingers crossed, if we do get an Icon class ship here in Galveston, which Michael Bailey hinted is a possibility,
Mm-hmm.
I'll jump on that just because it's right down the road. So, well, we haven't even been on any of those yet. Eventually, we're gonna have to spend more time in Florida. Actually, I think eventually we're gonna have to move to Florida, but that's
We say that, and then
well, it's not my fault. Galveston continues to get better and better every year.
yes.
And here we go where the problem is again, because as we're sitting there thinking, oh, go to Florida and get on a ship like Utopia of the Seas. Well, then you've got the CEO of Royal Caribbean hinting that we're going to send one over to Galveston.
Mm-hmm.
They beat me before I even start.
Utopia and Icon's prices are off the charts. I cruised Icon in March, and my balcony was $5,500, and now it's more $7,000 to $8,000.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cheaper to get on Disney
Than it is to get on Utopia. Yeah, Utopia is trying to get up there and think it's got Mickey Mouse on it type of cruise. But it's the newest. It's the latest. It's the greatest, and it's no different than the brand new iPhone is coming out, and people will stand in line wrapped around the store all night long to be the first one to get a new iPhone, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to be the first one to get on these new cruise ships. And so the cruise line's, oh, okay, $8,000. And people pay.
So Cindy, was the Utopia worth that amount of money? And then Texas Cruiser, I'm looking forward to Allure coming back to Galveston after her $150 million makeover. I will book on one of her first cruises.
Yeah, I will get on the Allure when she comes back for the very same reason, because I've sailed on her on the before, and now I'd like to sail on her on the after and see what upgrade she's going to get, what new venues she's going to get, because I did hear that some of the stuff that we're seeing on Icon ships is going to go on the Allure. Not exactly what stuff and things like that, but some of the new stuff that came after the Oasis class is going to go on Allure, which is good news for Allure because she is 3 years now behind her scheduled refit. She was supposed to have that right before COVID started, and all that got canceled. So Allure's going to get a nice makeover, and she's going to get some stuff on her that even ships like Harmony and Symphony of the Seas don't have.
James says some of the suites are over $10,000.
Jeez.
Cindy says I was on Icon in March, but it was an
Exceptional ship.
I love the Allure, but have just as good a time on Carnival. It's about a love of cruising.
Exactly, which is why I wait when ships like Utopia come out and all that stuff is going on over there. You go look at the price for Mariner of the Seas, one of the older, smaller cruise ships sailing out of Galveston. You can get on that sucker for a steal.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a Royal Caribbean cruise on an older, small ship because nobody is suddenly paying attention to Mariner. Her prices fall, you hop on the ship. It's exactly how we got Tiffany on going out on the Disney Wish. It's been so expensive, but that's right at the same time that the Disney Treasure, the brand new one's coming out, the prices on the Wish dropped. Tiffany said, boom, and bounced on that sucker.
Ellie says we are doing Utopia back-to-back in December 2025. That's about $2,100 interior. I then realized we are doing Nassau and Cocoa Key multiple times. What a waste. I have time to cancel. And then Sheikah says, I refuse to pay Utopia or Icon prices. I can go to Europe for that.
Yeah. You can get on the Royal Princess. No, it's a princess one. I can't think of the ship. Regal Princess from Galveston all the way to Southampton, do the British Isle cruise, and it's like 29 days of cruising straight on the Regal Princess for less than for about 1/3 of what it costs to go for a quick sail on Utopia.
Texas says the Allure is back March 26 after Harmony leaves for the Mid. But Mariner leaves after 25. Does RC have plans for another ship after Allure comes back?
I'm sure they do. I haven't seen their things yet. Usually like those smaller ships, you'll just notice it. They don't really announce it. You'll just notice it in the itinerary switches. And I haven't seen the switch out for Mariner yet. Because, we saw Grander come and go. It wasn't really talked about all that much. When Allure came, that was a really big deal because it was the biggest ship that ever been here. She left, Harmony came in, but we've had Allure, Adventure, Mariners there. I want to say Jewel of the Sea. I think that's the name of it, is coming in at some point too. So Royal Caribbean rolls some of their older ships in and out of Galveston pretty regular, to be honest with you.
Because you sure can cruise many places for that price tag. Nellie says so far 26 is just Allure, right? James says, I'm with you, Cindy. I haven't sailed Carnival in a long time, but got to get back to them.
Is 2026 just Allure? No. I'd have to go look and see what they're going to bring in past that. I haven't looked that far out for Royal Caribbean, but no, it's not going to be just Allure. They, on average, have 3 to 4 ships in Galveston at all times.
Sheikah says, I paid $2,800 for 3 guests for a 9-day cruise on the Pride last summer.
Right. And they want $8,000, $10,000 to sail on Utopia for a short cruise. That's why you don't see us on Utopia. To be honest with you.
Texas says, my thought and rumors I hear is that an Icon class will replace Allure.
That's what he hinted at.
Yeah.
That's what he hinted at. See, he also, I don't know which one we might get, because he even hinted that if California does really, really well, there could be an Icon in their future as well. But with them building multiple Icons, it makes sense to kind of spread them out a little bit.
In Europe and British Isles, if not an Icon class, Wonder will replace Allure. Nellie says next year we're doing my first Carnival Jubilee, then the Dream to Celebration Key.
Yeah, the Dream's got a couple that are going all the way over there too. So that's a lot of cruising stuff going. Galveston's got so much good stuff coming in its future. There's so much moving in and out of Galveston. I said MSC is now on their way. Norwegian is on their way back. Norwegian's going to be running different ships out of there for the next couple of years as well. Plus Princess, plus Carnival, plus Disney's in there. They're getting just about everybody. I'm really just waiting to see, are we going to get a celebrity ship swinging through there? I still think that at some point we might see that, because they can share the port with Royal Caribbean. It wouldn't surprise me if pretty soon in the next couple of years, we don't have a little bit of everybody at least coming through there every once in a while.
Have you sailed in an obstructed on Regal? We want to try that too.
An obstructed view? No. When we sailed on Regal, no, we've been on Discovery, Ruby. Ruby, we had an inside cabin. On Discovery, we had the mini suite. But that was an Alaska cruise, which is why we sprung for that. And we wanted no. But I would be fine with an obstructed view if the price was right. We still get the fresh air from the balcony, can still go outside. Because we stay in a lot of inside cabins, a lot of ocean view cabins, whatever the price is right. So to still have a to still have a balcony with some fresh air wouldn't bother us at all. You know, I'm fine with it.
Captain Kate joined my Royal Caribbean Harmony of the Seas Galveston Facebook group. Hint from Texas Cruiser.
Is that it?
I like Captain Kate.
I would like to meet Captain Kate.
Yes.
Is that a hint that we're supposed to join that group?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think you will think. I think you will see my cruising out of Galveston a lot the next few years.
Me too. I think there's a lot of good opportunities to cruise out of there. And again, it's just my opinion. Someone else can have a completely different opinion. But it's less of a pain in the butt than it is from all the stories I hear about Miami. Between the traffic and getting in and out, and every time you can have a delay for whatever's going on in Miami. In my opinion, it's less expensive to pre-stay in Galveston. I think Galveston has a lot going for it compared to some of the other cruise ports for simple ease of getting in and out, simple availability for everything that's right there on the island, and the efficiency of the cruise ports down there. And this is before they're spending all the money they have to do the improvements that they're working on to make it even better.
Yeah.
Galveston wants to compete with Florida. They want to get in that ring and start fighting for who's number one. And they're willing to spend the money and put in the time and the resources and the effort to make it happen. They want it. They want it bad.
James says he's going to sneak on and tell on you and I because he's going to sail out of Galveston more often.
Telling us for what?
Door decorating.
Oh. Well, cool. You sneak on and tell on us. We'll figure out you're on board the ship. Tipping will get your door again.
Yep. You really have more cruise ships than the West Coast does.
Oh, yeah. Galveston's number 4. They're currently the 4th largest port out there, cruise port out there. They're gunning for it. They don't want to be number 4. They are on the straight up and honest about it. Number 4 is not acceptable.
Yeah.
They want to be number 1. And it's going to be a long, and they'll never get as big as Miami. We just don't have the room for it. But, they're going to try. And they're going to make it as nice as possible.
California Linda, ours is booked for 26 in August, and we are looking forward to the group cruise. Sheikah says we have 2 piers, Long Beach and San Pedro.
I admit, Long Beach, which I'd like to sail out, to be honest with you, they don't get the love that the East Coast in Texas is getting right now. I get that. I think some of that, honestly, is, I think for Long Beach, they seem to have less options and choices than we were originally even seeing in Galveston. You know, for a while there, Galveston was pretty much Cozumel back. That's all we get. Cozumel, Progresso back. Then they started adding in Belize and Roatan, and now they're heading over into the Eastern Caribbean for long cruises. And I think that's what, unfortunately, Long Beach is in that zone right now.
So this is the Galveston port is steadily working on improving the infrastructure and planning on better cruising for all of us. Nellie is going to Quantum for a quick 4-day.
Ooh, nice.
James just sent off for his new passport book.
So we have to do that next year. I want to do that next year before 2026. It's definitely before the group cruise.
Yeah.
Because we have to renew in 2026.
It is after 7.
But yeah, I'm a firm believer. Galveston wants it, and they want to do the work. And they're not just begging for cruise ships to come in and just whatever. They want to pre-do as much as they can and have it enticing, make them want to come in. And since we started cruising out of Galveston, it's grown a ton. We're seeing cruise ships we never thought would be here already. And every year it gets better, more ships, more opportunities. Now we're seeing new itineraries. The work is paying off. And I like it. Because Galveston's a 3-hour drive for us. 3 hours, boom, on a ship.
Yep. Chica, we don't really have a lot of ports, Mexican Riviera, and quick 3-4 days to,
Right. And that, unfortunately, I think is probably geographically one of the things that at least is currently messing with Long Beach a little bit. But if the cruise lines would maybe, start doing some more Hawaiian cruises, leave Long Beach. But the problem with that is you have to hit that foreign port. So you'd have to go down and do at least like Ensenada, Cabo San Lucas, down there, then do Hawaii, which is feasible. And maybe get some longer cruises out of Long Beach, things like that.
Here's a hint. I'm looking to sail first port of the year out of Galveston, still looking around. And then Chica seasonal Hawaii coastal cruises to Vancouver.
All right, so James is looking for the first part of January. First part of January, I bet we can find something pretty damn reasonable in January. So I'm pretty sure we can find something pretty good in January. I will take a look at that and see what we can come up with, James. Throw some information your way and see if anything it looks of interest to you. But I think we are going to get ready to wrap up the show today. So we do have one of the kids here. So she's probably either eating, watching TV, playing on her phone, or sleeping. Probably hasn't even noticed we're not in the room yet. Just saying. And we have whining dogs. So we are going to get ready to wrap this up. Now, I'm giving no hints whatsoever, except for the fact next week's live is going to be something different. Okay? It is going to be different. And we're going to try something that we have never done before on this particular live when it comes to cruising. So everybody be here for next week's show because it's going to be different. And I'm going to give no more hints than that. I think that's good enough right there.
That's good enough.
So we were actually going to have something going on. Like I said, it's going to be special next week. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be informative. And so everybody definitely come back next week for something a little bit different. I know we got, actually, I don't think our majority of our wrestling fans are not in here tonight.
Lenny and Geneva were.
Oh, okay. So I want to make sure we get them off to their stuff that's going on today. But thank you everybody for being here. Thank you to the new folks we had jump in here tonight. Yeah, welcome to High Seas Cruising. Yeah, jump in any week. We're here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, provided we are not out cruising or something like that. But we're here. Come in, ask questions, talk, visit, have a good time. We have one of the, I think, the best cruising communities going on this channel right here. We're small, but we're close. We are tight-knit, and we are all about cruising and having fun.
Yes.
So definitely come back and join us. We'll have a really good time here. So, yes, we'll see everybody here back next week. We'll have videos coming out the remainder of this week. Of course, we're going to have a video on Saturday. I got lots of comments for you guys this week. And then we'll be doing something special for next week's live. So, well,
that's it.
That is it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And like always,
we'll see you out on the high seas.
Good night, everybody.